Interesting times that we're looking at. But, if you recall back to June and July, and of course in the first quarter, it was up and away for stocks. May was a little bit rough, but the turning point seems to have been July 31st, that Fed meeting. So everybody's talking about trade, but that was really, it goes back and forth between Fed and trade, but that really seems to be the pivot into this very volatile August. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely, because the Fed's guidance was basically saying, hey, don't expect sequential cuts every single meeting, right? So that kind of threw everybody off. They're saying, okay, is this going to be a one and done cut? And so it's left investors on their toes because they don't know what to make of that, especially because the global economies have been weakening, especially the PMIs in Europe and Asia.
So you think that stock investors would have been a little bit happier if they had signaled that more rate cuts were ahead, supporting that possible economic weakening?
Yeah,
Hard to know,
it's
right?
never good when the Fed takes away the punch bowl, right? So the market loves it.
Yes, a little bit of a temper tantrum here.
Yeah.
Well, one area of the market that's not surprised by all of this, actually, and a chart that we've looked at many times, the SKU index. If we go into the Bloomberg and take a look at a chart of SKU, the VIX, and the S&P 500, here we go. So we've looked at this many times before. Talk to us about what you're seeing here. And again, SKU investors not worried.
Right. Yeah. One of the interesting aspects of this is that you're not seeing market participants go out and buying deep out of the money calls. And that's actually in the white there, the SKU index. So that's the ultimate fear index, right? VIX is the uncertainty index. SKU is the fear index. There's not much fear being exposed in that. Now, when you actually look at how are investors actually hedging their portfolios, they're actually going over to the treasuries, right? So that's the preferred hedge so far this year for equity participants, is that they're actually just going to go into treasuries because they're making money off of it.
Well, it is pretty interesting for certain. We have really seen that VIX volatility move index really on the rise. That's certainly where the volatility is. Before we turn to your trade, what are you seeing relative to put and call buying on the SPY or sector-wise that could really help our...
Yeah, sector-wise, you're seeing tech sector actually explode. It's got about 40% more volatility baked into that, even though the earnings were great this past season.